The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
What is up, guys? JayFerGaming here. Welcome back to my F1 2017 career mode. This is the Russian Grand Prix. If you're new to my channel, do remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you've missed any of the previous career mode episodes, do go check them out. It's been so fun this season. Really enjoying it. Hope you guys are as well. You can see we've made a couple of upgrades in terms of durability. I feel like that's the path we need to go down. I feel like we're wearing out the power unit and gearbox parts far too quickly, and if we don't make any upgrades in terms of durability, we're going to have quite a few penalties later on in the season. I am doing like the process close to real life. Like if I wanted to start at the back and take an engine penalty, I'm not going to take advantage of the system by taking a 6th or 7th power unit, but you can see how we're doing in terms of durability, and yeah, we've made the most upgrades in that area, and I feel like that's the way we're going to go. So as we get ready for the Russian Grand Prix, we can have a quick look at the power unit parts, I think, and there we go. So, after practice in Russia, we did, well actually for practice in Russia, we went back to the first parts of the power unit, and now we're going to have pretty much fresh engine for this Russian Grand Prix. I think 3 of the parts were used in Bahrain, but 3 parts will be brand new, and this is where a bit of a mistake appears. As we move over to the gearbox, you probably guessed in the title of the video, I really don't pay attention here, and I didn't actually know the rules. I thought the gearbox was the same as the engine, and we've just given ourselves a 5-place grid penalty for the Russian Grand Prix.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. I want to talk briefly about the strategy in these qualifying sessions. Anthony Davidson, how can a driver adjust their approach to gain those critical extra tenths of a second?
Well, qualifying isn't about adjusting your approach necessarily. It's more about trying to repeat a low fuel run that you've practiced prior to this session. You're looking for perfection on the lap, and that's hard to achieve if you're trying something new. There are some variables that can stand in your way, however. Track position or unexpected yellow flags, for example. Coupled with ever-changing track conditions, it's important to be out there at the right moment. But as a driver, you have to try and ignore these distractions and just keep your mind focused on that one perfect lap.
Absolute stupidity on my part for not knowing the rules. I didn't actually know this at the time. I actually realised just before the race that I incurred a 5-place grid penalty. So keep that out of your mind for now, and let's see how far up the order we can get. Can we get out of Q1? We've done that once this season. Looking to do it for the second time in this Russian Grand Prix. And this was our second lap in Q1, and that's a brilliant time, I've got to say. That put us up to P10, and it meant we got through into Q2, which was a brilliant feeling. But we actually knocked out our teammate. But we were 7/10 quicker than him, and this car felt absolutely brilliant around here. I don't like the Russian Grand Prix track in real life or on the previous games, but it just felt so much more satisfying to drive on this 2017 game. And yeah, this was weird. I don't know what all these collisions are for, because I haven't crashed into anyone in that session. A few drivers have a 2-second penalty. I'm guessing that's 2 seconds added to their quickest lap time, something like that. But yeah, I really don't know what's going on there. That might be a glitch, but we're into Q2 here. Our first lap was done on 1 Ultra Softs, which put us up to P14. So we're on our final run now. We're improving by a couple of tenths so far. It's been an okay lap. I feel like we were pushing the limit, and it was just satisfying to drive. As I keep saying, like the middle sector, especially with the fast left and right handers, the car just flew through that section. But we've got a vast improvement in this final sector, and it looks like we're going to be improving. Come to the line. Can we get into Q3? I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. It's going to be really close, and we've missed out by less than half a tenth. Unbelievable there. Ocon and Hulkenberg have put in exactly the same lap time, which must really hurt Hulkenberg as he used to drive for Force India. But we've missed out by half a tenth. That's absolutely incredible how close the field is in that session. So we've met our objective, that's the main thing. And I decided to make an upgrade. I saw I had 530 resource points, so I'm actually going to go for more durability. As I keep saying, this is the way I think we're going to go for the first half of this season, and I feel like in terms of performance of the car, we're actually pretty good. We're right in that mid-pack, and I don't think we need that many drastic upgrades, I'm going to be honest. So that should be ready for the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm glad I got that in before the race, so let's go.
That I think in its inaugural race got off to a bit of a shaky start, but since then it's really drawn the fans in and become a very popular event. What do you think changed?
But this just goes to show the importance of fixing problems as and when you discover them. As a complete unknown quantity in 2014, the tyre choice was quite conservative, which didn't really allow much in terms of different strategy options. So it was pretty much as you were from lights to flag. But that was a great learning experience, and we came back the next year and had a really exciting Grand Prix, with battles for the podium going on all the way to the final lap. So hopefully we'll be treated to more of the same this year.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Massa, Ricciardo, Perez, Stroll, and Esteban Ocon, Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and Palmer, Sainz, Van Dorn, Toro Rosso, and Marcus Ericsson. Wehrlein and Fernando Alonso starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
So that's the build-up and the grid sorted. We're looking at the strategy, and obviously it's a one-stop. It's pretty much a one-stop for most races if you start outside the top 10, but I'm actually going to switch to start on the ultra softs. I feel like we need to make up a load of positions off the start, especially after that stupid grid penalty. So we're starting in P17, unfortunately. We have the pace to be much higher up the field. 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Can we get a good start from this lowly position? We've got Van Dorn early. Palmer hasn't got a great start, and now we're going into the infamous turn 1 kink. Oh, the AI, we're so bad at that kink on 2016. It looks like they've been improved slightly, but still, it's getting very close as we go down to turn 2. Such a long run. Palmer's up the inside of our teammate. We're just looking for a gap. Of course, we have simulation damage, so I'm not going to be as aggressive as I used to be. Wehrlein gets around the outside of us, but we're fighting back down the inside. There's a bit of shaky driving from Palmer and Sainz there. We're trying to set this up so we can go up the inside, but Wehrlein has the actual inside line, goes up the inside, makes contact with Palmer. They're pretty much 3 wide ahead of us. They're getting so leery and just all over the place, and I just had to get Wehrlein out the way, and it's at the expense of our teammate as we go 3 wide. I think Wehrlein actually pushed our teammate off the track there, so I kind of did screw my teammate there, but we're up to P15. Overall, that's been a successful start, but yeah, just the way the AI fight each other. And I've got to be so careful with the front wing with damage on simulation now. The slightest of touch, and then we're going to have damage, and we experienced that straight away in Bahrain, and it was not a nice feeling at all. We have a replay at the start here. Wehrlein got us back into turn 2 there, and you can just see it just gets a bit leery in the midfield here, as you'd kind of expect really. We were looking for the inside line, but Wehrlein was just there, and he goes for a really late lunge there up the inside. I think he makes a slight bit of contact with the Renault here, and we actually get locked with the McLaren Honda there. I didn't actually realise at the time that happened, and we go for the double overtake. And there we go up the inside, and Wehrlein just gives Sainz a nudge there, breaks a bit of its front wing as well, but I didn't notice when I was racing the guys ahead that this happened. That's that could have definitely been a big incident up the inside. We'll see on board with Wehrlein in a second what he actually does to Sainz, but he does a great lunge here. And then loses a little bit of momentum, but still, Sainz getting very aggressive with Wehrlein here. But Wehrlein, I think, would have got the move done anyway, but I just made it 10 times harder up the inside, and he just pushes Sainz off the track. It's unfortunate for my teammate, but obviously I'm concentrating on myself for now. So, on lap 2 here, we're actually in a bit of a train. It's Lance Stroll, who's in P10 here, and he is much slower than the cars ahead of him. He keeps getting into Q3, but I feel like his race pace isn't the best, and yeah, I just had to get past these quickly. I wanted the shot of getting the points. I feel like we deserve to be fighting for the points in this Russian Grand Prix. Up the inside of Palmer, a bit shaky under braking there, but we force him onto the curb and get the move done. And gets us up to P14 there. So Magnussen's on the super softs. Looks like Stroll has been overtaken by someone into P10, and I was following this train for a number of laps. I'd get close enough, but with DRS we just kept negating each other, and I had to watch out for Palmer behind, because at times I didn't get a great run out the final corner. I was taking it in gear 3 instead of gear 4, so the initial traction wasn't great, and Palmer did attack on this occasion, but I defended nicely into turn 2, but I knew from now on have to take gear 4 out of the final corner to stick with Magnussen ahead, and I was the quickest in the middle sector. I mean, this car felt absolutely fantastic, just sliding gliding through the corners, and I just needed a good exit onto this back DRS straight, and I'd go for a move on Magnussen into the braking zone if I can get close enough, but he's got DRS, which makes it very difficult to get close. But as we get closer and closer through this kink, I thought, I'm going to go for this. I need to up the inside. Can we slow down? Stroll's made a mistake there. Oh, we nearly ran into the back of Hülkenberg, and Magnussen fought back there, but luckily we got through there unscathed. Stroll, at the same time as I was making that overtake, went in a little bit too deep there. Hülkenberg had to put the brakes on. I did as well. I was so close to making contact with the Renault. I'm so lucky, so thankful that I had the reactions sorted there. But now we're behind the Renault of Hülkenberg. He's got a Renault power unit just like us, so he doesn't have as good straight line speed as the Haas driver, and we get it up the inside, being very aggressive on the exit, making sure we do cut across the AI driver so they can't fight back around the outside. Now we set our sights on the Williams of Lance Stroll, who is really slow. Look at the mini-map. He is so slow compared to P10. I'm not sure who actually is in P10, but he's losing so much time and costing me a shot of points, though you could also argue that I've cost myself the shot of points with a stupid gearbox penalty, but at least I know for the rest of the season not to change the gearbox. Though in practice we did have a gear failure, so that's actually why I did make the change. So yeah, spare your comments, please don't abuse me too much. But Stroll, easy overtake there. He didn't have DRS, and yeah, that gets us up to P11 after 7 laps. So we're looking like we're in an okay position. We need to see if we can close up to P10. So as we get to lap 10 now, some of the AI drivers are starting to come into the pits for their first pit stop. Looks like Hamilton's just coming out just ahead of us on the soft compound, so that's interesting. I'm not looking to use the soft compound. I feel like that tyre would be incredibly slow, especially around here, and we don't really get held up by Hamilton, so that's helped us nicely. We've got Hülkenberg on our tail now. There will be more of a threat. Stroll's gone into the pits, so I'd expect him to get the undercut, because I'm not expected to come in for a lap or two. And as we come on to lap 11, Hülkenberg's right there, getting ready to attack. I think Sebastian Vettel on the right-hand side is coming out the pits just ahead of us. Yes, he is, but it looks like Hülkenberg's actually got a really good run there, and he's going to go for the move. We're going to go defensive into turn 2 here. We want to defend this position because we're effectively fighting for the last positions in the points, and if we can actually catch up to them. So we defend from Hülkenberg pretty nicely there, and I decided at the end of the lap I don't want to be battling the Renault anymore. I want to come into the pits and not lose too much time to Stroll, but actually Hülkenberg follows us in. Very cautious on the pit entry line. I always am, especially at tracks like this with the lower limit. I think it was 37 miles an hour there, so yeah, got to be very careful. I was just hoping, please don't hold me, team. Can we get ahead of the Renault? And there we go, into the box. Can we have a fast stop, Toro Rosso, guys? Yes, we can. 2.8. I think we should be out ahead of the Renault. And actually, the Sauber could help us so much there. Oh, Hülkenberg's had a shocking stop there. So we've got quite a gap to him now. Disengage the pit limiter a little bit late there, but we can see Stroll ahead of us has got the undercut to pull away, so he's a couple of seconds ahead of us, but we have a couple of lap fresher tyres, and we did have superior pace than him in the first stint, so I did expect to be closing in on Stroll and hopefully taking the position off him. So more drivers in the pits. Van Dorn, we don't really want to be too bothered with him. He was quite far behind us. Who is this coming out the pits? It's actually Jolyon Palmer. Jolyon Palmer's actually got the overcut on Hülkenberg, but that's worked out very well for us. We've got rid of the two Renaults, who will be fighting each other, no doubt. And they're probably about a couple of seconds behind. Now we're just trying to chase down Lance Stroll here. Sergio Perez is out of the race. He was actually running in P4 in the first stint, ahead of Raikkonen as well, who we know is very overpowered in career mode. So that's unfortunate for him. Force India really haven't performed well so far in these first 4 races. They really haven't scored many points at all. It really is a lot different to real life, where they've been absolutely brilliant in scoring consistent points finishes. So we're up to P11 now. Grosjean's come out the pits, but he's on the ultra soft tyre, so I knew he's going to be a big threat in these final 11 laps of the race. So we've got to hold him back while trying to attack Stroll. But Stroll actually had some pretty good pace on these super softs, a lot quicker than he was on the ultra softs in the first stint. But Grosjean, is he going to close in? Yes, he does. He has the Ferrari power unit, so he has a lot of pace, shaping to go to the inside. But we've got the defensive line, and once again we can just defend pretty easily on that line. And now we're up to P10, so we're defending a point at the moment. That retirement for Perez has definitely helped us out there. Grosjean looks like he's shaping up for another overtake, and the safety car has been deployed. Oh, we can catch our breath now. Stoffel Van Dorn is out of the race. No doubt that is an engine failure for the McLaren Honda. Now, We're back with the main pack, so I would say that's really helped us. We need to watch out for Grosjean behind us and get ready to attack Stroll. But it looks like they've gone pretty early there, the pack, and I saw Stroll breaking here, so I broke, and then, oh no, we've been caught napping behind the safety car again. Grosjean goes up the inside. We try and hang around the outside through these 90-degree corners. I turn it in on him on purpose. I was no way going to let Grosjean through there, but now we're seriously going to be under attack here from Grosjean, possibly Palmer as well. Can we defend from these drivers? We do have a lot of rich mix now to defend. Grosjean's actually gone for the inside. He's right there on the inside, so we're going to have to take a different defensive mode into the second corner, and we brake later than Grosjean, which is a surprise considering the tyres he's on, and we just defend our P10. That's the second time we've had a safety car this season, and it's the second time we've been caught napping. We need to get used to the new safety car process and how the AI react. But lap 24 now is on the back of Stroll. I had some great pace. I knew I had a shot at nabbing a few points here, and I just needed to get ahead of Stroll as soon as possible and hope that Stroll would hold up Grosjean, because Grosjean was such a big threat here, and he was definitely the quickest out of the three of us. So we've got DRS. We've overtaken Stroll already in a DRS zone. It wasn't that difficult. Which way are we going to go? He just leaves a gap on the right. Oh, so close between the right-hand side of his car and the wall. Up the inside. He's locked up, so he has gone a little bit deep there. We cut across him, and there we go, up to P9. And now we set our sights on the Force India of Esteban Ocon, who I was saying before, Force India haven't done well this season. I don't think he's got many points at all, but on the penultimate lap now, we didn't have any threat from Stroll. He was a couple of seconds behind us, really didn't have the pace. And yes, we finally got DRS. We're within the 1 second window, which means on the final lap, we will have DRS twice. And we got it on the start-finish straight, which allowed us to close in. And now on the back straight, the final lap. Can we nick P8 from Esteban Ocon here? DRS, rich mix, we're using all the tools at our disposal. We're going to go for a late lunge up the inside. He's locked up once again. We've got the move done. Is he on the inside? No, he's not. He makes another mistake, so that's twice. Two rookies have made a mistake locking up and going a little bit wide there. Stroll and Ocon, we've taken the positions both times up to P8. And there we go. Lewis Hamilton has actually won the race. Mercedes not performing as well as you'd expect this season, but there we go. He gets the win here. We're coming through the final corner to take a very, very good P8 and add 4 points to our tally. Great recovery after a stupid gearbox change.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
So there we go, that has been the Russian Grand Prix, and there we go, Mercedes have dominated this 2x2 there, Ferrari 3rd and 4th, Raikkonen the slowest of the top 4. I didn't really think I'd be saying that, but you can see how close it is, 1.7 separating them, so after the safety car they were very close to each other. We nabbed 4 points, very happy with that. I mean, if we started in P12, could we have got any higher? Possibly, but we'll never know, but at least I know not to change my gearbox. So the gearbox has to last 6 races, I think the rule is, which sounds incredible. I can't see how that's going to happen. In terms of the driver standings now, we're solid in P8. 20 points after 4 races. I'm very happy with that start, I've got to say. We're obviously going to be nowhere near the Red Bulls, Ferraris or Mercedes, so best of the rest, I suppose that could be what we can hope for. So at the moment, just behind Grosjean after his 2 4th place finishes at the start of the season, and well ahead of our teammate. He hasn't scored a point yet, so I wish he really would start contributing for the team. He had a shocking race there once again. Just needs to put in one decent weekend, and 4 drivers yet to score, and 3 of them are pretty expected. So in the constructors, up to P5 now. That could be an interesting battle between ourselves, Haas, Williams, Renault, Force India, probably the rest of the field behind Red Bull. But we're going to have a conversation with Jonathan, who again wants us to drive one of his classic cars. So what challenge are we going to be going for here?
Nothing like being trackside at a Grand Prix. Change of direction on these things is insane. I own a single-seater that I take club racing, but comparatively speaking, it's like a kid's pedal car. And speaking of pedals, I need to borrow your right foot again. We have invitations to 2 more historic events, and we've got to choose one. So, take your pick.
It's time for a well-deserved rest from the championship for a classic exhibition event today. It's winner takes all, so who will emerge on top in this unique challenge?
Well, we've decided to go for the 98 McLaren here for, I think this is time attack around Sao Paulo, and yeah, first time driving this car, so we'll lock up straight away into turn 1, and yeah, this is my first experience of this game mode and this car, so just jumping straight into it, hoping to actually complete the challenge this time. I mean, the first challenge we completed after the Australian Grand Prix in the Renault, we didn't complete, unfortunately, but I kind of overestimated the downforce of this car. I mean, wow, we totally understeer off the track. They're getting a warning in the meantime. Yeah, I think we'll learn for the second lap. So I think we have to complete 2 and a bit laps to complete this challenge. The lap seems to be 4 kilometers by the looks of things as we come to the line. Let's see. It's getting very close. We need to complete 9 kilometers, and there we go. So we're looking okay at the moment, I think, and we'll see how we do on the second lap. This corner, very, very, it's just a great feeling, especially in this car. I don't know, I just really like the feel of the car through that fast right-hander. But now on you, 5 seconds to go. We're going to be very close to running out of time. We need to pick up the pace, and the next gate coming up, it's only 10 seconds. I was hoping, please don't be the finish line, because I know it's such a long run past that Zheng Xiao up to the final finishing line, and we're going to be very close here. There's the gate, and I was sure we hit the gate there. Oh man, I can't believe how close that was, and we failed the challenge once again, unfortunately. But hey, that was fun to drive this McLaren around Sao Paulo. Yeah, a kilometre short, unfortunately, so damn it. At least we'll get a few points, I think R&D points, so that will help us along the way. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already to my channel, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time out. Goodbye.